So, I just got back from watching Olympus Has Fallen, directed by Antoine Fuqua, who has one of the best names ever. Right there underneath Santiago Ramos III, which is fantastic. But, so, this is a movie that just made me so mad when I was watching it. There's a little bit of suspension of disbelief in a movie that you sort of have to roll with, but you know, once you set that up, then you go and you do your movie and you try not to nitpick too much. But so many things in this movie just infuriated me. You know, even beyond the whole bit that I was expecting, because in case you're not really aware, Olympus Has Fallen is about a bunch of terrorists who come and they basically pull an Air Force One on the White House. So they come in and they sort of, you know, kill all the Secret Service involved, and take the president hostage. And I was kind of hoping to see a little bit more Aaron Eckhart, who plays the president, rather well in this, and have him, you know, sort of escape and try and, but no, it's really Gerard Butler's show, which is unfortunate because he's not a bad actor, mind you, but he doesn't really have the range as Aaron Eckhart does, that Aaron Eckhart does. It's just not there. But the whole thing, you know, I was expecting a little bit of melodrama because, you know, it's the White House, but it's just terrifying amounts, you know, with seeing the American flag riddled with bullet holes, with sad horn music playing, flapping against the setting sun, and it just long shots of the White House and slow-mo of disaster. It just grates. You know, a little bit is good, but they just play it up to the hilt, and it's the first, what feels like half hour of the movie is just nothing but this overly melodramatic, pandering sort of stuff, and it's there at the end too, and it just, yeah. And then on top of that, you have, finally, there's some really good, competent, smart bad guys who are North Koreans, so yay, I suppose. Topical. But they're really the only two competent, you know, groups in this is Gerard Butler's sort of Bruce Willis and Die Hard character, where he gets, you know, sort of inadvertently pulled into the mix, and the bad guys and the whole American military, they just, and the Secret Service, and they just keep on messing up time and time again, which, you know. And then Gerard Butler plays a character, he was prior Secret Service, in that, you know, he saved the president's life, but he let the president's wife die in a car accident, and the president sort of fired him and moved him over to the Department of the Treasury at a desk job sort of thing. And you know, that's sort of set up in the beginning scene, which is a nice little piece, setting up characters and stuff like that, although for the amount of time it deals with the president and the son, and you would have thought that they really came up more in the movie, but they don't. They're really sort of side notes, which is kind of weird to have that much build-up of the character, you know, and have sort of setup done, and then have it not really touched on at all later in the movie. But so Aaron Eckhart is the Secret Service guy there, and he gets fired and transferred, and then the meat of the movie takes place a year and a half later, and once he gets sort of stuck inside the White House with these terrorists who've taken it over and everything, all of his security codes still work. He's still in the database, as, you know, having like access to lock down the entire White House, you know, camera grid and all this crazy stuff. A year and a half, and he's not been part of the Secret Service, and all of his stuff still works. That just, no, and and that's a key thing for me right there. He has the code to get into a wall safe in the president's office. How? Why? it just, and I suppose you're saying, oh, hey, you're nitpicking, but no, that's how he gets his guns. He doesn't pick them up off of, the dead Secret Service agents. He doesn't, pick them up off of the bad guys. I mean, he has one when he gets in there in the first place, but he gets, really heavily armored, and all these weapons and things like that, and he does not. He gets them in the most absurd way possible, and it just drives me batty. And it just, and then they have, this MacGuffin sort of thing in there, called Cerberus, which, whatever, is going to blow up all the nukes in the U.S. inside their silos, and it's something to, like, that we can knock down our ICBMs if they get fired, and we need to, cancel it, like abort in mid-flight sort of thing. But apparently, according to this weird world, they're actually, it doesn't just shut down the nuke and everything like, no, it actually detonates the nuke in mid-flight. So if their Cerberus makes all the U.S. nukes explode inside the silos, it's massive nuclear catastrophe because all these nukes going off, when in reality it probably would just, shut off the, like, an explosion will not necessarily set off a nuclear bomb, nuclear missile. It requires a little bit more than that, and then it just, so aggravating, and it just kept on taking me out of the action with all these little things peppered throughout, and it's constant, and just. Although that said, everyone does a really good performance. Even Gerard Butler does a really passable performance. Pretty, I guess, standard for him, but that's not bad. Nothing to complain about. Aaron Eckhart delivers a slam-up performance as the president. Morgan Freeman. Who's Morgan Freeman? There's nothing to complain about there either. Although he's keeps on popping up, but the total screen time has to be maybe 10 minutes, if that. But yeah, I can't. Don't go see it if you are annoyed at all by weird logic errors in the screenplay, because it'll get you. It's just terrifyingly, like, massive gaping holes in the plot. The whole thing revolves around the U.S. military and Secret Service, except for this one guy being completely, completely incompetent. One of the bad guys is a prior Secret Service guy who just kind of never voted for the president, and it just really. Anywho, I just had to get that off my chest. First impressions, I'm sure once I think about it, I'll settle down and calm down a little bit more and be able to give a rational opinion. But, oh boy, first impression, just so aggravated by this movie. Yeah. So, there you go.